color charts and color charting are a big thing in my coloring and creativity. And I've been wanting to talk about them for quite some time, but I have so many color charts, and I have been doing it for such a long time that just the pictures of all the color charts that I had would make a really long blog post. So I decided to do a little brief video to kind of take you through a tour of my color charts and of the color charts to come because I'm a little bit behind in color charting. So here we go, a tour of my color charts here in my art studio and my charts to come. This is my first color chart that I ever made, and it's Tombow watercolor markers. Basically, they're Tombow dual brush pens, and there were so many dual brush pens that I felt like I needed to test them to make sure they were okay. And once I did that, it kind of unlocked this this desire to color test everything that I ever did. So here's the very first one, but after that, I'm not really sure what order they all came in. I've got my Derwent metallic and graphitins, both that are water soluble. I have my Prismacolor watercolors, my Stampin' Up watercolors. These are ancient. I don't even think you can get these anymore. And my Kimberly watercolor pencils. And if you're wondering, like, what's the difference between watercolor and water soluble, I will link my blog post at the end in the notes of this video so that you can read all about that, because there is a big difference. These are my Crayola watercolor pencils. These are the pencils that I stock in my Have Color Will Travel coloring shop when people want to get a full color care package. They get either these or they order them. Excuse me, either these or they order just your regular old Crayola color pencils. Both are options. These are Monami Plus pens all the way. I believe that company is Korean. Lots of really interesting art supplies come out of Korea. Color Tech. These are fabulously sparkly gel pens that were very inexpensive back in the day. I have no idea how much they are now, but they're still lasting and they have not given up the ghost, which I think is exciting when it comes to gel pens. They tend to get dry if you don't use them a lot, and I use them sparingly. Derwent Inktense, 72 colors. These are also water soluble. You notice I have lots of big sets, but I also have lots of tiny sets. Kohinoor Polycolor colored pencils, Kohinoor Woodless colored pencils, some of my favorites right there, and just a regular Faber-Castell Art Grip colored pencil. These are those smaller sets that I have. One of my most used color charts is my Bic Marking 36. These are permanent markers, just like you would think of a Sharpie, but it's the Bic variety, and I really love these guys. And if I'm traveling, this is the set that I take because it's really super durable. And if I'm flying, they're not going to burst open and spill color everywhere. Caps stay on super tight. So this chart has seen some miles. And yes, I do take color charts with me when I travel. I love these guys. These are fairly new for me for my pens. These are Zig Clean Clutch. Too many C's and L's. Zig Clear Color Real Brush pens. And I bought the 48 set, and I really should have just waited until I had enough money to get the fullest size, because these pens are very, very fun to use. Raphine colored pencils, a very large set that I like to bring out when I'm coloring with small children, because it's got lots of pretty colors, but they're not fragile. They're not easy to break, so they're great for young kids. Markers, Triplus Staler Triplus, Staler fine liners, and then this is my baby set of Sakura jelly rollers. I now have the largest set, and I have yet to, I think that's like, I don't know, 86 or 68, one of those. I haven't done that one yet. And my Prismacolor Premier colored pencils, 150 colors. This color chart took way too long, and by the time I finished it, I'm like, those circles are too tiny. What was I thinking? But really, I think all I wanted was for them to be an all one sheet, and that was my biggest mistake. I should have just made two, because this is really tiny, and I do find this tininess of my chart is not as effective in helping me with my coloring time as, say, something like, I don't know, like this. where I just really get an expression of what the color is. So I did tell you I am working on some color charts because that's just the way life goes. Here's a couple of the things that I shouldn't move the camera with me. I'm sorry. I decided to hold it today so I have more flexibility. Crayola color sticks. I've colored with them. I have not had a chance to color chart them or to write a main blog post about them because these are super cool. I really like those. Black wing colors. Obviously I'm using them, and obviously blue has been a popular. Oh wait, yellow's pretty narrow too. That shouldn't take me that long. However, we've got the bigger ones. I'm loving these, but I've not had them for very long, which means I've had them for like, oh, but I am using them obviously. I need to color chart these, but there is 120 and those are watercolor pencils, so you also have to test, or you have to, like someone's bossing me around. I have to do them with water as well. And their sister pencil, the Polychromos colored pencil, which I've also not had for as long as my others, and I am someday going to take the time because I'm just loving these. Obviously haven't used them much, but I have used them, so I'm looking forward to doing that. And let's see, let's walk over here, and this is my set of Sakura jelly rollers. There's like 68 or 70 in there. Someday, but there you have it. All of my color charts and color charts to come.